Good afternoon, everybody. So, uh, let me wait for a while. Another 2 to 3 minutes I'm going to wait and we'll start the session. Just wait a minute. I'm waiting for another 1 minute. Later I'm going to start. Shall we start? Don't worry about others who have not joined. We'll send anyhow a recording of the things. Yeah, I'm going to start from the next part. Very important part that I'm going to discuss right now. Yeah. So I think we have completed operationalization of definitions used. Now let me focus on research design. It's also called as methodology. It's also called as methodology of research. What is methodology of research? Methodology of research is called as blueprint of whole research process. It's a blueprint of whole research process where it is having two important subphases. Number one is, I mean to say that whenever you are conducting a research activity, at that time you have to mention or you have to be very accurate which method that you are going to follow, which research method that you are going to adapt, or you may say like that, which method that you are going to adapt for your research activity or endeavor, or which method that you are going to use in your research study. Both are one and the same. I mean to say that first you have to define your research method. Means researcher has to decide researcher has to decide which method I have to follow. Method in the sense, what are the research method, what is research method, how you are going to follow it, how you are going to do it, and all those things. They are called research method. We will put light on that later on. Next, sampling. To conduct a research, simply I'm going to explain. When I want to conduct a research, I need objectives. Later, I have to frame hypothesis. Later, I have to plan for which method I have to adapt. Later, I have to move on which sample I'm going to conduct my research. Then what is sample? How the sampling process is there? Sampling is a process. Sample is a unit, right? Sampling is a process. Means selecting samples itself is called as sampling. Please note on the point. The procedure of selection of sample is sampling. Simply in research language, we use it sampling or selection of sample, right? Yes. What are the research methods and how they will work? Let me discuss first. First, I'm going to discuss on research methods. Later, I will come to samples. Okay. Shall we start? Are you all there? I think the number is 40. Another 10. Where they go? Yeah. Let me come to the point. I'm going to talk about research methods. Basically, I'm going to explain there are three kinds of research methods. How many types? Three types. Yes, here it is there. There are three kinds of research methods. In research method or research methods can be categorized under three broad heads. Number one, quantitative research methods. Second, qualitative research methods. And third, mixed method research. Nowadays, we are all using mixed method research. What is mixed method research and what is qualitative, what is quantitative? Quantitative research methods are the methods where we are using, it is one of the traditional method. Quantitative technique is a very traditional method, or it's a very good old method where you are supposed to use numbers, measures, controlling, like that. I mean to say that quantity is nothing but a number, right? It is based on empirical evidences, number evidences, right? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಮಾಣಾತ್ಮಕ ವಿಧಾನಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ನೀವು ಕಸ ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸ್ವೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹೋಮ್, ನೀವು ಕಸ ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರೈಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್. One can bend and one can sweep it, right? ಅದನ್ನ ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಹಿಂಗ ನಡ ಬಗ್ಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊಡಿಯೋದು ಒಂದು ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಸ ಹೊಡಿತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. There are some people which are sitting and they are pushing the dust. Am I right? See, these are the different three methods. Likewise, while doing cooking in your kitchen, you are supposed to have a plenty of methods. You are supposed to have a plenty of methods. Am I right? Plenty of methods. Among them, like that, to conduct a research, there are many types of methods. Sir, which method is suitable? How we should know all these things? based on the title, based on the objectives which you are framed, based on the title, based on the area which you have selected. I mean to say that the nature of problem itself defines whether it is a quantitative or qualitative. Got it? Got it? Okay. Then qualitative methods. Qualitative methods are the methods where you are using verbal presentations to explain or for interpretation, and it is innovative method, you may say, right? I'm explaining very simple way. Okay. Qualitative methods are the methods where you are using verbals, their numbers here, verbals. Then what is mixed method research? Most of the people don't know about mixed method research. What is mixed method research actually? It is a very innovative approach which has been adopted by a system of research. In a single study, once if you use qualitative, in a single study, please note on the point, in a single study, if you use both simultaneously, once you are using qualitative, once you are using quantitative, if you use both methods in a single study, that itself is called as, just a minute, I had a call. Okay. Now I came online. So I had an urgent call from the university. That's what I made it muted. I have told you, but you have messaged me a lot. Okay, let me come to the point. Uh, these are the some examples for quantitative methods. These are the some examples for quantitative methods. Write down those examples. Experimental studies, quantitative methods. Make a list of out of it. Quantitative studies, quasi-experimental studies, quasi-experimental studies, survey methods, quasi-experimental method, survey, descriptive studies, correlational studies, causal comparative studies. Causal comparative studies. They are called quantitative methods of research. You may have a look here. Survey method, it's in English. Survey method. Then descriptive, in survey there are different kinds. This is a survey method. Survey method means giving or asking some questions to somebody. For example, when a new film is going to release, at that time TV people, that anchor will go and ask or take the opinion of some people. That method itself is called as survey method. The film is good or not, like that they are taking reviews, na? So that itself is called as survey method. Survey means going to the people and getting the information. Nowadays the survey becomes very innovatively modified into email service or telephonic surveys, or it might be somewhat different, sending Google forms to them and ask them to fill them and submitting those forms. Likewise, survey is a method. So it's not possible me to give idea about each and every method. Just I'm giving the title of the methods. You just type on a Google and you will get a plenty of information, and you should read them because they are asking questions on research methods. Which method is suitable for so and so situation, they are going to ask. Okay. In survey there are many kinds of surveys are there. Forget about types and all. Let me come to the point. Second type of quantitative method I'm explaining. Second type of quantitative method, that is a descriptive studies, right? It is nothing but study of a fact, phenomena, or status study. You may say status. For in a present situation, the impact of COVID has made the economic status in a very what you call it as very horrible way. What is the status of the economic condition of in India? Like that, if you study, that is called as descriptive study. Later, correlational studies. Suppose I want to study boys are good or girls are good. Boys and girls, comparison of boys and girls. Types of method I am not explaining. Type of survey, there are many more types of survey, but I am not explaining them directly. I'm moving descriptive study, correlational study. Next, comparing. Next, causal comparative research. Causal comparative method, you may say. Causal comparative, you just browse on them because it takes a lot of time to explain all those things. Okay, next comes a very important part, that is experimental research or experimental research method, right? It's very important from the point of examination. Here you have a controlling of variables, what I said in the morning session, right? There are many more experimental designs and all. Next, qualitative research methods. Qualitative research methods. Qualitative research methods, the types of qualitative research methods are philosophical research, then ethnographical research method. It's study about the generation, it's study about the comparative study of a generation, tribes, like that, ethnographical research. Next, case study. As you all know, Karnataka University is a case. Case means it's not related to a single person, or it may be related to a single fact, institution, like that, right? It's called a case study. Case study in the sense you're taking a single person, you're going to study about that single person, or you are going to study about that single unit. or you are going to study about the department, you are going to study about what do you call it as whole university as a system. If you are studying, for example, Dabbawala, I think you might have heard of Dabbawala in Mumbai. Dabbawala, जो लोग खाना खिलाते हैं सभी सभी लोगों को, उन्हीं उन्हीं की घर का खाना खिलाते हैं वो लोग, डब्बा वाला, we call them as a dabba wala. Am I right? Yes, they are called case studies. For example, I want to study about Murga Mutt in Dharwad, right? So something, the educational contributions or socio-economic contributions of so and so person, like that, if you have studied, that is called as case study. It is descriptive in nature. I mean to say that it involves not numbers, it involves verbal interpretation and verbal description. Okay, so next comes historical research. Historical research is also a type of qualitative research. They may ask a question like this. They are giving some methods. Which is not a qualitative research method among the following? Which is not a qualitative research method, or which is a qualitative research method among the following? They may give 4 options. Among them, one must be a qualitative or a quantitative. They may ask questions like this. You just to make a list of. Okay, it's not possible me to go through each and every method. It takes another 2 to 3 classes. Okay, historical research. In historical research, there are two very important concepts. They are internal criticism and external criticism. Whenever you are going to conduct a historical research, at that time there are two types of criticisms. You just remember that itself: internal criticism and external criticism. Okay, with this let me move towards samples again. Come back the in methodology. I'm explaining the methodology. In methodology, there are two types you have to mention. One is method, which method that you are using in your research, and secondly sampling. Explanation about the samples. Just a minute. Yeah, very important. Yes. Okay. Suppose if you want to purchase the Dharwad Peda, what we will do? Suppose if you want to purchase the Dharwad Peda, what you will do? What you will do? You will go to a Thakur Peda shop. Directly you are going to tell pack so much quantity. No, you are not going to tell like that. You are just ask them to give sample, right? ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡವಲ್ರಿ Are you going to ask a sample or not? Yes. How much sample they are giving? They are giving whole pack or whole packet? They are giving whole packet or just a piece of the peda? Yeah, absolutely. Little piece. Yes. If you want to purchase any kind of sweets and all, if you go to a shop and if you are asked, give me a sample, then they are giving a sample. What you presume by eating that sample? Either that sweet is very good, or that sweet is okay, or that sweet is not good. Am I right? Am I right or not? Yes. Then what it means, or why we are taking and why you are concluding by eating that sample? You will say that yes, the sweet is very good, pack me a kg. Am I right? Pack maad 1 kg pack madantirri. Am I right? Am I right or not? You will say pack me. Yes, absolutely right. It represents the taste of whole sweet. Whatever they have prepared, it is just representation of whole sweet. Suppose if you want to cook a rice, how will you cook? Nowadays, the pressure cookers are there. You are cooking in a pressure cooker. Suppose if you not have a pressure cooker, if you not have, how you are going to cook? You are going to cook in a vessel, right? Utensils you will take, and you will put rice, and then you put water, or before that you pour a water. You will pour a water later. Yes. Suppose it started to boil. What you will do? You will presume that the rice is cooked? No. You will take a rice piece, and then you are going to decide it as the whole rice is cooked. I mean to say that whenever suppose we are conducting a study on COVID pandemic, yeah, you suppose you are going to check a single grain. It is sufficient as such as that single grain or that single piece is representation of the whole rice. Am I right? Similarly, in research also, we presume that the sample is a representation of the whole population which we are intended to conduct research. First you have to define a population. Suppose the Karnataka University, if you presume as a whole population, or it is also called as universe. Am I right? In population, there are two kinds of population. One is finite population, another one is infinite population. Suppose I took as Karnataka University students. Karnataka University has many students. Yes, we had a doubt. Somebody has raised their hand. Yes, Bhavani, you can speak now. Yes. Yes, what's your doubt?
No, sir, I
Yes.
don't have any doubts.
Yeah, why you raised your hand?
No, sir. Oh, by mistake, sir. Don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Unmute yourself. Okay. Population. In population, there are two kinds of population: finite population and infinite population. Finite population in the sense, for example, final year studying students. Is an infinite population. Final year students, if you have many more students, for example, I will take very particularly students of Department of Botany. Means what? Many more students are there. Department of Botany students तो बहुत सारे हैं, उसमें कितना ले सकते हैं आप? That is infinite population. Suppose the students of Department of Botany, KUD, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಧಾರವಾಡ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓದುತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಬಾಟನಿ ವಿಭಾಗದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಅಂದಾಗ, so it is restricted finite population. Suppose I wanted to conduct research the impact of COVID-19 on human life. What is your population? Whole universe human beings are your population. That is infinite population. Please make it into a finite population. Suppose I want to make it as a population in India. The impact of COVID-19 on human life in India. If you restricted to in India, or if you restricted to in Karnataka, while framing a title I'm speaking, or while defining a population. First, in a research study, you have to define a population. What is your population? Not your population, your own family population. I'm asking what is population of research. The population of research is North Karnataka. Yes, I'm considering only North Karnataka. North Karnataka is my population. Later, by that population, I have to take representative of each and every district. How we are going to select sample? Samples are to be selected. Please try to remember, samples are to be selected from that particular population. This technique of selecting population itself is called as sampling. The technique or procedure or the method of selection of sample is called as sampling. Sampling has, or the sampling process has, the following steps. Step number 1, please note down. Step number 1, defining a population, as I defined right now, North Karnataka. Later, defining the sampling frame, how many number I have to take. Sampling frame I have to define. North Karnataka has 10 districts, like that you have to frame. Sampling frame it is. You have to fit in a frame. Layer, determining the size of the sample. How much sample I should take? Shall I take 1000? Shall I take 2000? Shall I take many more than that? In size of the sample, the size of the sample is denoted by a small letter n. Please note down these points. Small letter n. Small letter n represents size of the sample. Please try to understand the concept. Size of the sample is represented by a small letter n, and you have to determine the size of the sample. What should be the size of the sample? There are two kinds of size of the samples. Number one, if the size of the sample is 30 or below 30, that is called small sample. In research, we call it as small sample. Small means 30 and below 30. Suppose large sample means above 30 itself is called as large sample. Whether you are going to select a large sample or small sample, you have to decide, or you have to decide a sample size. So in this very hard situation, I'm going to collect a data from 1000 people. Okay, my sample size is 1000, or my sample size is 10, or my sample size is 100, or my sample size is 500, or my sample size is 1000. Got it? Later, you have to move to select sampling methods. By which sampling method I am going to select? Howdu ella correct, ella tagondvi. I fixed my sample. I fixed my sample to 1000. I have fixed. Then what method I have to follow? There are methods of. Please try to understand the concept. I'm explaining the whole process. There are some methods of sampling. In sample, how to select a sample. In research, there are research methods. Similarly, in sampling, there are sampling methods. There are two kinds of sampling methods. I will show the picture later on. There are two kinds of sampling methods. Number one is probability sampling techniques. They are called PST, probability sampling techniques. And there are another type of sampling technique. They are called non-probability sampling techniques, NPST. PST and NPST, these are the short forms to remember. PST is also called as simple random sampling techniques, SRMs. They are also called as SRMs, or you simply remember PST, NPST. PST in the sense probability sampling techniques or methods. NPST means non-probability sampling techniques. Got the idea? Later, by selecting that sample method, by following that technique, I am going to select samples. This is sample selection procedure or sampling procedure. First, what you have to do? You have to go for a population. Why I explained this step? This step is asked in previous examination. The correct sequence of sampling is, try to catch the point. The correct sequence of sampling is, they are giving this diagram in a reverse, like that. They are giving the commas, defining a population. Later they are giving selecting sample and selecting sample methods last. Like that they are giving. You have to choose a correct order or correct sequence of sampling procedure. Got the idea? Any doubts? Any doubts? Yes. I'm coming to the next. I'm not going to explain more about the population and all. Okay. Please, you remember, large sample means 30 and below 30. Above 30, if it feels large sample. Okay. Yes. See, here are the probability sampling techniques and non-probability sampling techniques. Please note on the point, Nutan, Akshata, you please note on the point. This is a very important from the point of examination. If you open your question paper, there must be one question from sampling every year. Every year there must be a one question from in NET also, in KCET also. Sampling is very important unit from the point of examination. They are going to ask a list of probability sampling techniques. They are giving a question like this. Please note down. Which of the following is not non-probability sampling technique? Which of the following is not non-probability sampling technique? Or they are going to ask a question like this. Which is among not a probability sampling technique? If they ask question like not, suppose which is a probability sampling technique among the following? They are giving all non-probability sampling technique. You have to pick among those. Out of 4, they are giving 3 non-probability. One must be from probability sampling technique. Please make a list of it. It is in Kannada. I am going to explain in English. Please, PST list. Number 1, simple random sampling technique. Simple random sampling technique. SR, simple random sampling technique. SRST. SRST, simple random sampling technique. Second, I have seen many books of researchers, but they never given when you have to use probability sampling techniques, when you have to use non-probability sampling techniques. I mean to say that which type of studies, in which type of studies you have to move to probability sampling and you have to move to non-probability sampling. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು probability ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾನ್ probability ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, जिस वक्त हम probability को जाना चाहिए, जिस वक्त हम non probability को जाना चाहिए, वो कोई नहीं बता सकता आपको. सिर्फ I try to make a list of them. Please note down. When you are using a probability sampling techniques, when the sampling frame is unavailable or incomplete, when the sampling frame is unavailable or incomplete, this is the first condition when you have to use probability PST. Later, second condition, when the size of the sample is large, right? These are the, and if you have more time to conduct field work, if you have more time to conduct a field work, then you have to use PST. Okay, first you make a list out of PST. One by one I am going to tell the list. Okay, first one is simple random sampling technique. Second one, systematic sampling technique. Write down one by one, please. Systematic sampling technique. Third, stratified sampling technique, or it is also called as stratified random sampling technique. The word random is used in probability sampling technique only. Stratified random sampling technique. Later, cluster sampling technique. Cluster sampling technique. Cluster. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth one is multi-stage sampling technique. Multi-stage sampling technique. Next, non-probability sampling technique. I'm going to spell the list first and later I'm going to explain one by one. Purposive sampling technique. Purposive sampling technique. Purposive. Suppose I wanted to study the third gender people. The third gender is my purpose. That's it. I want to study only localates which are studying in KUD. My study is restricted only to the localates. My study is restricted to only the hostelates. I mean, by the purpose itself, I am going to fix the target. Target in the sense that sample, right? ಉದ್ದೇಶಪೂರ್ವಕ ಪ್ರತಿಚಯನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರೋದು. Second, quota sampling technique. Quota, not gota, quota. Next, Next, snowball sampling technique. Snowball. See the name. Snowball, not snow powder. Snowball. Snowball sampling technique. I think you wrote. Next, after snowball, I'm giving a bit assignment to you people. I'm making you people to write. Otherwise, you could have been took a screenshot. Due to my time constraint, I'm unable. Just now I finished my webinar on some issues. So that's what I was busy with that. That's what it is not possible me to make a PPT of English, right? What you have took? Snowball sampling technique. Later, incidental sampling technique. Incidental sampling technique. Next, convenience sampling technique. Convenience. Incidental is also called as accidental. Convenience sampling technique. Okay, so these are the PST and NPSTs. You please remember this list carries 2 marks for you people in the exam. Okay, suppose if the group is heterogeneous and homogeneous, suppose the population is homogeneous, then which techniques you have to use? This is very important from the point. That's what I plotted in graph. I plotted in box. I'm sorry. I plotted in box. Right? When the sample is homogeneous, then you should use simple random sampling technique or systematic sampling technique. Please note down this point. Homo, you write just like this. Homo, simple random, and systematic. Suppose if the group or the population is heterogeneous, not same, it's not same, heterogeneous, what you are using? If the group is heterogeneous, yes, stratified sampling technique and cluster sampling technique. Please note down cluster sampling technique. Suppose the group is heterogeneous, they may ask questions like this. If the group is heterogeneous, you have to use stratified. Okay, I will move fast. I don't have a time, much more time. Yes, this picture, which picture can tell about sampling techniques? You can take a snap of it. Now you can take a snap. It is very easy, sir. This is the above represents the population and below represents the samples. Stratified. I will explain one by one. Okay, don't worry. I will explain one by one. Simple random sampling technique. Random sampling technique means manas vandang tagonadanta. Aniba. Your teachers are usually asked you to come. When you are doing so, the simple random sampling technique can be selected with the help of lottery, with the help of tossing, with the help of blindfolded method, by the random tables, by computer. They are going to select how many out of 1000. As I told, in the North Karnataka, I'm going to take a sample as 1000. In 1000, I'm going to select randomly. I'm going to select 200 in Dharwad district, and I'm going to select 100 in Gadag district. I'm going to select 500 in Haveri district, and I'm going to select. Is it finished? Districts of North Karnataka. There are many more districts. I'm telling only the Dharwad district, I think so. Okay. So likewise, if you are restricting yourself, how you are going to select random sampling technique? By lottery, by tossing, like that. Okay. By blindfolded methods. Dini Shastra anta. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಗಿಣಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಚೀಟಿ ತೆಗಿತಿದ್ ಗಿಣಿ ಆ ಟೈಪ್ ಚೀಟಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಿರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಆ ಟೈಪ್. Okay, then systematic random sampling means you are following some systematic procedure to select a sample. For example, I am going to select suppose the North Karnataka has 10 districts. Among 10 districts I am going to select 100 people. That is systematic. There should be some systematic process to select a sample. Later comes stratified sampling technique. It's very important. SST, please remember, when you went to a bakery, baker man is going to cut your bread piece. If you ask to give me a 1 pound of bread, what they will do nowadays, the machine is there. Before that he uses to cut by chaku, am I right? Knife. He's using knife and he is going to cut. Similarly, simply the stratified, strata means small groups. Strata means small groups. Strata means small groups. You are dividing the whole sample, whole population into a small groups. They are equal in nature. Please try to remember, they are equal in nature, right? They are called stratified random sampling. See here, out of here I have given an example. 100 is there. Out of 100, 50 male, 50 female. Out of 50, 25 above 60 years, 25, like that. I'm having some criteria. Based on that criteria, I'm going to divide. Next comes cluster sampling technique. Means an area. If you take a cluster as an area or area sampling technique, it is also called as area sampling technique also. It is also nomenclatured as area sampling. I'm going to define it North Karnataka, I'm going to define it South Karnataka, or I'm going to define it northeast of India, South India, North India, like that. I'm going to divide, right? This is called cluster sampling technique. Later, I'm going to move multi-stage sampling. Multi-stage sampling is a technique where I'm going to select in terms of multiple stages. In one stage I'm going to select one area, and another stage I'm going to select another area. Usually multi-stage sampling is a very rare case of sampling technique which is used by researcher. Okay, next, non-probability sampling techniques. When you have to use a non-probability sampling techniques, when you don't have idea of sampling frame. Later, when the sample size is very small, when you are in a hurry to finish your research work, at that time you can opt or you can choose NPST, non-probability sampling techniques. The first sampling technique is convenience sampling technique. Nanaga anukula agutta. Suppose I have took North Karnataka. In North Karnataka, I'm staying in Dharwad district. I will take a Dharwad district, right? Which is at my convenience. Right? Second, purposive sampling technique. Purpose means which purpose I had, I am going to select that only. The Department of Botany, it is my purpose, so I am going to select that itself. Right? Next comes quota sampling technique. Yes, quota sampling. I mean to say that in accordance with the quota, I will give quota-wise representation. In Department of Botany, suppose there are 20 girls and 10 boys. Is it right? In most of the departments, I think girls' strength is more nowadays. What I surveyed from all higher education institutions. Am I right? All of you belongs to which department? I don't know department. Yeah, anyhow, we will presume like this. In botany, I will take an example of botany department itself. The botany department of KUD. Yeah, biochem. Okay. Be there. Okay, so I will take an example of botany department. In botany department, 30 girls are there and 10 boys are there. Yes, I am giving preference quota to them also, and later based on age, there are some more seniors, there are some more juniors. Even though they are studying in the same class, there is a variation in the age, and there is a variation in the socio-economic status. their socioeconomic status and some people's socioeconomic status. I mean to say that based on some criterias, the criterias may be sex, the criterias may be age, the criterias may be socioeconomic status or condition. Based on those, I'm going to select a sample, that is quota. I mean, when your mom or father has brought chocolates to you people, suppose if you are 3 members in a home, just he brought one chocolate, what he will do, he will give it to only one person. He will cut into 3 pieces and he will give the quota. I mean, got the point? Yeah, divide itself. Quota, right? In quota mugitu anta heltirtare. Next, snowball sampling technique. It's a very important and innovative technique which is not used by some people. Suppose what is quota sampling? See, snowball sampling technique is a technique. It is a very unique technique where it is also called as a connected sampling technique. Suppose I know a person who is always, or I know a gentleman who is playing a drama in the streets. Suppose I wanted to conduct a study on him or the study of that group. I'm going to visit him, I'm going to connect with him, and I'm going to ask him whatever the required for the study. I'm going to ask him, and I'm again asking him such kind of you people where they are staying. I mean, I'm connecting the person who I directly not going to impose on him. I'm going to connect with one person and he is going to connect me to another person, and that person is to connect me to another person. That is called as chain system, connecting chain. That is called as snowball sampling technique. Suppose I want to make a LIC policy. I'm going to visit for an LIC agent. I'm going to tell, sir, my areas comes in this way. Do you know some LIC agent in my area? Yes, he is going to tell. Yes, of course. There is one LIC agent which whose address is like this. He is going to tell. If you're going to visit his house, and you will get a full information and you will get a policies. Later, you are going to connect with some people and you are going to ask for another area. He is going to tell his name. I mean to say that when you don't have a complete idea of the samples, then you are going to connect with some people, and that people is going to connect you another person, and that another person is going to, or another group is going to connect you to another person. Suppose there are very peculiar tribal categories. For example, ಈ ಬೆಲ್ಗಾಂ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕುರಿ ಮೇಯಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಡು ಯು ನೋ? ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೀ ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬೆಳಗಾಂ ಕುರಿಗಾಹಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಅವರು ಹೊಲದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು, ನಿಮ್ಮಂಗ ಯಾರದಾರ, ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ ಕುರಿ ಕಾಯೋದಷ್ಟು ಹಚ್ತೀರಿ, ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಆದಾಗ, they will tell similar camp is going on in this district or this place. You are going and approaching them, and if you ask them, they are going to tell next camp is there in itself, like that. If you don't have any idea about the population, then you will go for this method. Okay, it's one of the peculiar method. That's what I explained a lot. Okay, I hope you got the point. So this is all about the samples. Okay, then comes, while selecting the sample, you will commit a mistake. Am I right? ಯಾರನ್ನಾರ ನೀವು ಮದುವೆ ಆದಾರ ನೋಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ, ಏನಂತಾರ ಅವರು? ವೆರಿ ಫನಿ. We made a mistake ಅಂತಿರ್ತಾರ. Suppose if you purchase a Note 7 Pro now in market, Note 10 is arrived. Am I right? Yes. If you ask a person who has selected Note 7 Pro, he is going to tell that I made a mistake. While selecting mobile, I made a mistake. Now the new version has came to the market. Am I right? Yes, Note 7, 11. Okay. I need to approve. I need to update. Okay, okay. 11 Pro is there. Okay. I have seen only 10. Now the 11 came. See, this is what updation. Okay. So when you are selecting a sample, mainly we are selecting sample based on the theme that it represents the whole thing. It is nothing but the characteristic is nothing but representativeness of a population is sample. Right. Suppose if you done a mistake while selecting the sample, that sampling error is going to occur while if you comment a mistake while doing the sample. Always there must be a sampling error that is denoted by SE. That is denoted by SE, sampling error. You just remember one thing. The sampling error is inversely proportional. It is mistakenly mistyped over there in a box. It is inversely proportional. SE is inversely proportional to 1 by n. N is, as I said, size of the sample. Size of the sample. This is asked many times in the NET examination. What the theme that behind is there? When the sample size is going to increase, the error is going to decrease. If the error is increasing, that means the sample size is low. Andre ಹೆಚ್ಚು sample ತಗೋಬೇಕು. You have to select most of the sample, or the sample size should be a large. Got it? How you are reducing sampling error then? They are asked in the examination. How you are reducing the sampling error? Number one, by reducing sample, by reducing size of the sample. Like that, they are giving options. Got the idea? Sampling error is inversely proportional to 1 by n, or inversely proportional to size of the sample. You may say like that. Sample error is inversely proportional to size of the sample. As size increases, error decreases. As error increases, size is decreases. That's it. Okay. Next phase is data collection phase. I think in a research endeavor, what I have done right now, I have selected the sample. To selected sample, I am going to administer tools and techniques. I am going to use, I want to collect the information from that samples. What I must do? I have defined the sample right now. ನನಗೆ ಈಗ sample ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. North Karnataka 1000. My sample is fixed. Then I have adapted so and so method, random sampling technique I have adapted, or stratified random sampling technique I have adapted. After finalizing the sampling procedure, I will move to collect data or information from the sample which I have chosen for my study. To collect data, I need tools and techniques. In research, there are n number of tools and techniques are available to collect the data, to collect information. Suppose I want to collect information from you people. I need tools and techniques. There is a lot of difference between tools and techniques. Technique is an act. Tool is a device. Technique is an act. Tool is a device. Tool means a device you needed. Technique, suppose if you are boiling milk in your home. Suppose it is boiling. ಅದು ಕುದಿಯಕತ್ತಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋರಿ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಉಕ್ಕು ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. ಉಕ್ಕು ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? What you will do? There are n number of techniques to slow down. You will switch off a gas, or you will put sim ಇಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯುಟೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪಾತ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಊದ್ತೀರಿ ಹಿಂಗ, ಇನ್ ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ನೀರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ಸ್ to control. Yeah, Nutan, I'm telling that itself. Pour a little water into it. So these are the techniques. Then what is a tool? What is a tool? Tool is a device. Whatever the things that you are pouring, that you are making on, they are called as tools. They are called as tools. and technique. Suppose if you want to prepare some food, those ingredients are called as tools, and how you are cooking, that itself is called as technique. Got it? In similarly, research also, we are having the tools and techniques of to collect the data. Later, the mode of data collection. Nowadays, the mode of data collection has been digitized. Digital mode of collection of data has been evolved by the researchers. Okay, tools and techniques. Hangidre ಏನೇನ್ tools adau, ಏನೇನ್ techniques adau. There are many tools and many techniques available in the market. The first tools are tests. You are going to conduct tests on them. Pre-test and post-test. Pilot study ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಿ ನೋಡಿ ನೀವು, pre-test ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಿ, post-test ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಿ. Tests you have personality test, adu idu tumba test ella bartavu. I'm not going to explain much more. Rating scales you have, construction, questionnaire is there. Most popularly used tool is questionnaire, but so many people are misspelling it. Questionnaire. They're spelling like that. Okay, questionnaire it is. You're using questionnaire. And what are the techniques? Interview is a technique. If you are supposed to conduct an interview, that interview is called as what? It's a technique. Observation is a technique. Observation schedule is, suppose if you want to observe somebody, you are going to observe a person by taking a schedule. one chart ತಗೊಂಡು ಏನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಹುಡುಗನ ಮೂಗ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಹುಡುಗಿ ಮೂಗ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಹುಡುಗಿಂದು ತಲೆ ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಕಲರ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. If you are making a chart list, that list itself is called as tool. The technique itself is called as like that. Got the idea? Tools ಗೂ techniques ಗೂ ಇರೋ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? I hope you understood. Okay, I'm giving in a simple as possible. ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಐತೆ simplified ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳಕತ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. Okay, so tools ಗೂ techniques ಗೂ ಇರೋ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ. ಅದೇ ನೀವು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಾಗ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರ ಅನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ, ನಾಳೆನೋ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಅವಾಗ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದು ಬೇರೆ, ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಮೊದ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಇಂಥದ್ದು ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಟೂಲ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರ ಅವರು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಅ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ this is what tools and techniques. There are many tools, many techniques available to collect the data. Got it? Yes. Later, sixth step is data analysis. After data collection, whatever the data that a researcher has collected, that has to be analyzed. Data analysis, nowadays it is called data analytics. Okay, there are subtypes. I mean to say that type of data analysis techniques to be used, charts, tables, like that. Interpretation of the things will happen here. What will happen in data collection? Majorly, there are two kinds of statistical techniques to analyze the data. Please remember, there are two types of tests to analyze the data. Number one, parametric test, and number two, non-parametric test. Parametric test and non-parametric test. It is not possible me to go in depth into a parametric and non-parametric test, please. Okay, so parametric tests are the tests where the nature of data is to be normal. When you know the nature of data, then you will move towards parametric test. Parametric test means आपको जो पैरा होता है, आपको उनके बारे में और उस डाटा के बारे में आपको पता है, उसका नेचर के बारे में आपको पता है, तो आपको पैरा लग जाएगा वो. That's what you are adopting parametric test. In this way you have to remember, right? जो आपको कौन पैरा लगता है, जिनके बारे में आपको पता होता है, उनके लिए आपको, or what you call it as, you will feel like that you are comfortable with whom you are comfortable, those with whom you know very well. When you know the nature of data, you are adapting parametric. What is non-parametric? You don't know about them. Aparichita. You feeling somewhat uncomfortable. At that time, you're using, I'm telling in a very simple way, statistically and technically, we have to separate them. But the thing is, a very simple way I'm telling. When you know about the data, nature of data, when that data is fitted in normal probability, then that is called as, the technique that has to be adopted is called as parametric technique. The technique which has adopted is called a non-parametric technique. When you don't know about the nature of data, the observation, when the data is in terms of frequency, please note down this point. When the data is in terms of frequency, then non-parametric tests are used. Again, in parametric, there are many more types. They are called significance tests. Significance, testing the significance. Testing the significance. There you come across very famous techniques. I am going to call them as descriptive statistics and inferential statistics in parametric. Descriptive statistics in the sense, measures of central tendency, measures of variability, graphical representation. Please try to remember central tendencies, mean median mode, central the measures of variability in the sense, standard deviation, range, QD, quartile deviation. They are falls under, they comes under what? Measures of dispersion or measures of variability. Later comes correlational tests, rank difference, product moment. They are the correlational tests. And very important, now I am moving to t-test. Significant, insignificant test. T-test is a test, very famous test. It is also called as student t-test. It is also called as student t-test. Please remember, it is not copy test, it's a t-test. T, small t and test. T-test and the test barutte. It is a very famous test. When you are applying t-test is applied when you have only two groups comparison. Suppose group A boys, group B girls, men, women. If you are comparing the test of significance between them, that is when you are supposed to apply, there are two groups, you supposed to apply t-test. ಅದ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಾಗ ಹೇಳಿ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿನಿ, you have to frame H0 null hypothesis. You have to frame, after framing null hypothesis, you have to go for testing of null hypothesis. That testing of null hypothesis implies test of significance. Test of significances are t-test and f-test. F-test is nothing but ANOVA test, ANACOVA test. ANOVA anta barutta, ANOVA. It is also called as ANOVA, ANOVA. ANOVA test, ANACOVA test. ANOVA test is a test where if more than two groups are present, how you are testing the analysis, testing the significance. If the more number of groups are available, you will go for ANOVA. Got it? This is about parametric. Bala iti syllabus. Syllabus is very vast. I cannot go in a single class. Parametric, and there is a test called non-parametric test. A very famous non-parametric test is chi-square test. Which test? Chi-square. The notation chi-square, or it is also spelled like this, chi-square, chi. Chi-square. It is called chi-square test. Later Mann-Whitney test. These are the some tests which are used as a non-parametric test. When you are using non-parametric test, you don't have any idea about the nature of data that you have collected, right? Or the observations are in terms of frequencies. When the data is in terms of frequency, you will go for non-parametric, that to a particular chi-square test. As a t-test is famous, the famous test for testing hypothesis is t-test. As t-test is famous, similarly non-parametric test, chi-square test is also a very famous test which is used. You ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾಕು, ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. It is much more enough. I think it's enough. Okay, so later I will move towards generalization and result. See, this is a step. Whenever we want to take a generalization, whenever I want to make a decision, we will say that generalization. We call it as generalization and results. For example, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದನೋ ಒಂದು ಬಯೋಡಾಟಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಹತ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಮ್ಮನ ಹತ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿ ಫೋಟೋ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಹುಡುಗನ ಫೋಟೋ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ವಿಲ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ, ವಿಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀರಿ, ಹುಡುಗಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹುಡುಗ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನ, ಹುಡುಗ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಒಂದ್ ದಿವ್ಸ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೋತಾರ. You are taking inference, you are making generalization, whether he is good or he is bad, whether you have to move or you have to not move, you have to continue with the relation, you have not continue with the relation. That itself is called as what? Making generalization. Means concluding the thing and finalizing the result. This is what generalization and result. Based on the analysis part, based on the chart, tables, graphical representations, I am based on that data, I am going to tell that the COVID-19 had made a lot of difference on the human life, or not supposed to make larger impact on the human life, but it has made an impact on the human life basically on food, shelter, and economic condition. Like that, you are going to make a conclusions. That itself is called as generalization and result. The last phase of research is research reporting. If it is a PG level research reporting, it is called a dissertation. If it is the MPhil level thesis, it is called thesis, THIESIS, thesis. And if it is PhD level, it is also called as thesis. When you are reporting, these are the terminologies. When you are submitting a report or report, that is called a project report. For a project, it is called project report, right? In your department, some of the fellows are moving here and there, they are called research assistant. I'm doing a project, they are telling like that, I'm doing project and I'm project assistant for so and so professor. They are going to tell like that, you know, they are called project assistants, and they are conducting projects. Okay, so next comes a research proposal. Research proposal is a proposal which is submitted after research or before research. Can anybody tell me? Suppose when you are proposed, I think you have got so many proposals, marriage proposals and all. Yeah, they are conducted before marriage or after marriage? Yes, you are absolutely right. They are conducted before marriage. Likewise, you are proposing your authority or your guide or your teacher, you are proposing to your teacher, sir, I am doing so and so research, please see it and approve it. That is called research proposal. That's it. Before conducting a research, you are going to submit a plan, a blueprint. That plan itself is called as research proposal. After completing of research, you are going to submit a research synopsis. It's called research synopsis, right? After submission of the synopsis, you will go for colloquium, and after that you are going to submit your thesis. This is the procedure. Okay, there are so many methods, it's not possible to me to cover all the aspects. I have given a brief idea, even though I have gone in depth, but I have a brief idea. Research is like a sea. Yes. Then research related activities. What are the research related activities? Research related activities are journal publications, book publications. Please note down these points. These are asked many times. If suppose you are publishing an article in a journal, whether you have to see it has impact factor or not. Impact factor means how much it has made influence on the public, general public. Okay, impact factor. Always journals have ISSN number. Please note on this point. ISSN number, international standard serial number. For journals, ISSN number. For books, ISBN number, international standard book number. International standard serial number is for journals, international standard book number is for books. Okay, okay. Next doesn't require. When you have to conduct workshops, seminars, symposium, like that, they are previously they were in the syllabus, but now they have omitted in the syllabus. They have avoided in the syllabus. Yes. Next point is thesis and article writing. Thesis and article writing. How you have to write a thesis? There must be some pattern that we call it as format of thesis writing. Please note on the point, format of thesis writing. Basically, the thesis writing has three major parts. The format, you write format of thesis writing. I will finish within 10 to 15 minutes right now. The format of thesis writing has majorly three parts. Number one is preliminary section, body of the thesis, and reference section. Three parts: preliminary section, main body of the thesis, then reference section. What is preliminary section? In preliminary section, you should have a title page. Likewise, it is your assignment. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಟೈಟಲ್ ಕವರ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು. ಕವರ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಳಗ ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಿರಿ, ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗೈಡ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಿರಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ HOD ನಿಮ್ ಗೈಡ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು, ನನ್ನ ಮಗ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ, ನನ್ನ ಯಾರು, ನನ್ನ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತೆ ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕೋತ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅಕ್ನಾಲೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕೋತೀರಿ. ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್, ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಥೀಸಿಸ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮಿನರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಳು ಮುಳು ಹಾಕದಂತ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ main body of the thesis. In main body of the thesis, there are 5 chapters. Please remember, while it comes to a writing of thesis, we call them as chapters. Chapter 1 is introduction chapter, means theoretical background of the chapter. Second, review of related literature as the second step. Third, research methodology or research design. Fourth, data analysis. Fifth, summary and conclusion. Last, third section, reference section. Here in reference section, you are going for bibliography, references, and appendices. Whatever you have told there, you are going to acknowledge them at the last. You are going to cover them in a last position, or you are going to make attachments. ಈಗ ಒಂದೆಲ್ಲರ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ. ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ? ಎನ್ಕ್ಲೋಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಹಂಗೆ ಇವು ಎನ್ಕ್ಲೋಸರ್ಸ್. ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ಗೆ ಎನ್ಕ್ಲೋಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಪೆಂಡೈಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಲಗತ್ತುಗಳು ಇದು ಹಚ್ಚೋದಂತ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹಚ್ಬೇಕು. ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ ಅಂತ ಹಚ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲರ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೆಲ್ಫಿ ಕುಲ್ಪಿ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹಚ್ಕೋತ ಹೋಗುದು. ರೈಟ್? ಅಂದ್ರ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5 ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನೇ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಏನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್? selection of a research problem as well as formulating research problem ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಎರಡು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರಾಗ ಇನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಆಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಒಂದೇದ್ರಾಗ ಹೋಗೈತಿ. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು? ಡಾಟಾ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ಮೆಥಡಾಲಜಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಮೆಥಡಾಲಜಿ ನಾವು ಎರಡು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಏನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ? ಒಂದು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮೆಥಡ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. Again, data collection is a separate stage, but data collection is included in the methodology itself here. Later, data analysis is the chapter, then it's also a step. After data analysis, we call it as generalization and result ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, that comes under the last chapter, that we call it as summary and conclusion. Summary and conclusion is nothing but generalization and results step. Got it? This is all about your research, and there is one thing I'm going to focus right now that is very important. Please note down. See here, while writing bibliography, most of the time this question arises in the examination. While writing the bibliography or references, you may say bibliography writing, there are two styles. There are two styles of writing bibliography: APA style and ML style. Not your MLA style. Yes, please take a screenshot of it and you have to remember it. See what's the difference is there. APA in the sense American Psychological Association, APA format. These are the only two formats which are popularizedly used by researchers to write their reports ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಬ್ಲಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಏನೇನ್ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ಬರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಬರೆಯೋಕ್ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಐತಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ದಂಗ್ ಬರೆಯೋಲ್ಲ. ಐದರ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಇನ್ APA ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆರ್ MLA ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಾರ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಬಾರಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನ ಕೇಳಾರ. ದಿಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪುಟ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಏನ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ. APA ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್ the author name, in bracket you are writing in which year that book has or that article has been published, in the year in bracket to write. Later you are going to write title of the book. Fundamentals of Computer Science is a book name. Later the publisher name and place of publisher. Tata Mackerel Publications, New Delhi. Got it? This is APA. APA ku MLA ku ಏನ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಐತಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. If the same book has been written, ಇದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಹಾಲ್ ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. ಮೇಲಿದ ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ, ಮೇಲಿದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ದಾಗ ಶರ್ಮಾ ವಿ, ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್, ನ್ಯೂ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ, ಟಾಟಾ ಮೆಕ್ರಾ-ಹಿಲ್, 2010. If that year is written at the end, then that is called as APA format. Then MLA format is if the year is written at the end, that is called MLA format. If year is written next to the author name, that is called as APA format. Okay, is it clear? Any doubts? In Kannada I have explained very beautifully here. Please note down, I will explain in English also. Right? And you have to mention the page number also. I have wrote a book for D.Ed course, D.Ed mathematics book I have written, that I have took as an example. Dr. Prakash KB, facilitating learning mathematics, Shidlingeshwara Prakashana, Shidlingeshwara publication, Gulbarga, 2013-14, page number 308. While writing references, you have to mention PP. PP means page number. While writing references, you have to mention page number. Okay, page number you have to mention. Always you should not go with the name, you have to go with the surname first. Badiger PK you have to write, otherwise you should not write PK Badiger, you have to write Badiger PK, like that. Okay, first surname, then initial, and a type. Got it? So this is all about your research methodology. This is my book. In my book I have made available of all the questions which has been asked since from December 2004 to December 2018 of NET, and all the cases till the date they have conducted. But bad luck is that this all material is in Kannada. See, here is an thing is given. See, APA style format. Identify which is the right API format. Yes. The fourth question. Don't read above material. Only you read the English material. Which is the right option? A is right, B is right, C is right, or D is right? Yes. Can anybody answer me right now? Most of the people are telling A is right answer, but A is not right answer. Tata Mecra-Hill it is. Necra-Hill is there in A. D is a right answer because the publication name is Mecra-Hill. Who said D? You got 2 marks. Let us make the party. D is the right answer. Right? Yes, here is another example of MLA format. Yes, which is right? Yes, answer me. It's in English itself. A, B, C, D. Yes, yes, yes. What the difference that you can find in each option? See, option C and D. See the spelling. Those who have said C and D, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು C ಮತ್ತು D ಅಂದಿರಿ, they are wrong. See the spelling of fundamentals. See the spelling. Either it is A or B. Yes, absolutely right. It is A only. See the differences. See the spellings. You are in a hurry. There is one saying in Kannada. ಅವಸರದ ಅನ್ಗಂಡು ಅವಕ್ಕನ್ನ. Yeah, that's what I am telling. B is wrong. Fundamentals of O is missing there. Not its B. It's only A is the right answer. This is the right answer. Got it? Just wait. I'm showing you whole questions. But bad luck is there in yeah. (2018) to 2000 December 18 question papers are there. KSET 13, KSET 14, KSET 15, 16, 17. Yes, 17. Yes, 17. It includes 17. Yes. Now you studied all the material, I think so. Yeah, Chutam, I can send you the notes. Okay. So I hope I have completed the research methodology in my true sense, but I don't know how much I have satisfied you. I don't know. Today, I think very big unit I have finished in 3 classes, na? Yesterday morning and today. Yes, this is what about research aptitude. Why I have gone in depth into it, because all of you are unaware of this what research methodology actually. You have not studied, na? So that's what. Yeah, research aptitude PPT is there with me, and I'm going to send it. It's in detail, which is making hurdle for me to explain. That's what I took Kannada. So I have all the PPTs of research methodology paper. I had all the PPTs and I'm going to definitely post them in your group. Okay, don't worry. Please work hard. Please work hard. It's my humble request that please work hard and go to the website and search questions on what it's easy research. I think I thought that, and I have heard that you are very worried about research methodology and all. Likewise, teaching aptitude also you are a bit of worried because you have not undergone the course B.Ed, where B.Ed course is completely giving an idea about teaching aptitude. But don't worry, I'm specially teaching a teacher. I'm a teacher educator. I'm teaching for B.Ed classes and M.Ed classes. Definitely, I'm going to make a very clear of teaching aptitude also. The next unit I am going to took up is, yes, choice is yours. I'm going to finish teaching aptitude, communication, and the last but not the least unit, higher education system. Only 3 units I have to cover as per the allotment, and other research persons also going to interact with you along with your Sridhar sir. I am going to finish another 3 units, communication, teaching aptitude, and higher education system. So now the choice is yours. I have completed ICT and research aptitude. Shall I go with the teaching aptitude, or shall I go with the communication, or shall I go with the higher education system? Majority, what will say, I'm more towards that. Which chapter you feel good? Yeah, everybody is typing. चक्कर आ रहा है मुझे पढ़ पढ़ के. Yeah, shall I make a toss? This is random sampling technique. See, I'm got various units. It doesn't get a sufficient majority for each unit. I think yes, 8 members are saying that teaching aptitude, and some 4 to 5 members are telling that communication, and another 4 are telling that higher education system. Yes, of course, I'm going to complete all the 3. I supposed to ask that. Yeah, Mahalakshmi, you are right. Every unit has importance in the exam. Not only a single unit. All the 3 are very easy and are very scoring. Teaching aptitude also is very easy. At the same time, communication is also very easy. Communication is a small unit. Higher education and teaching aptitude are a big units. Teaching aptitude. Okay, most of the people are telling. Anyhow, I will check out and I will make a random lottery system and I will do that one. Okay. Anyhow, hope you are going to enjoy with the research aptitude. I hope you are going to study deeply research aptitude. Now you got an idea. This is an inspiration class which throw light on research aptitude. You have to go in depth into it, and you have to practice many kind of such question papers you have to resolve. Yeah, when is the next class? Tomorrow. Oh, yes, you are right. From tomorrow, I'm going to be busy with my all these 3 days. There were holidays announcement. From tomorrow, I have to move to the department, and I am also having my administrative academic works. Apart from that, it's very convenient to me either in morning or evening. I will discuss with the Sridhar sir and I'm going to tell. From tomorrow, only one time I'm going to engage. It's not possible me to engage in both morning and evening because of my tight schedule. When Sundays, when Sunday is there and when holiday comes, at that time I'm going to engage 2 times. Okay. Only one time I'm going to engage. I'm going to confirm in your WhatsApp group by converging with Sridhar sir, and I'm going to convey you later on. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good evening and enjoy yourself and read well and finish research aptitude today itself. You are going to get a n number of resources for research methodology in website, in Google and all. Today only you have to finish the theory reading, whatever I have given today. Okay. Hope you are going to do it in a good way. Thank you one and all. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.